This is going to be the biggest episode of the season so far, and I hope you're ready. Because today, I'm going to build an iron farm and a villager trading hall, and it's all gonna go right here where I've done quite a bit of digging between episodes. And there's a whole lot more to do that I'm absolutely not gonna do without a beacon, so wither fight soon? Maybe? Well, hello there, villagers. Welcome to your sort of new home. I'm gonna be moving you here in a little bit, but just be patient. How many of you are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 13? Not nearly enough. So if you could kindly tell your friends up top to send some more villagers down here, that'd be great. Thank you. I want to take a look at this from another angle just to make sure we get the iron farm in the right spot. And I'm visualizing all of this in my head. You guys have no idea what else is going to go here, but I do. And so I think we kind of want the iron farm to be centered right around this area based on some other things that I've got planned. Or maybe we just kind of push it back here. I don't know. I've been pretty indecisive about this and I need to make a decision now because it's time to start building. Oh boy, what a mess. I had all of this organized and then some creeper just came along and blew it all up. Where do I even start? I don't even see the chests anywhere. Well, with that mess cleaned up, I have 4 bamboo blocks marking out the corners of the iron farm, and they are exactly, well, were exactly 31 blocks apart. And then along this inside edge right here, I'm going to build up with scaffolding 8 blocks, and then I can start building out the platform made out of these mosaic bamboo planks. And as you can see, it lines up directly with the corner of that block down there. And from here, all I need to do is just trace around the edge until I meet back up with where I started and the square is fully complete. I'm also going to find around the center point. It doesn't need to be exact, but I'm going to place 4 more blocks inward, and I'll do this on every side. And from here, I'll basically just fill in all the gaps in between, going no farther than the edge of each of these 4 blocks. So there should be another square empty in the middle when we're done. This space is 31 by 31 blocks, and because this platform is just on the inside corner, it makes the platform 29 by 29 with 5 blocks of space on each side of the platform. Now this platform's not complete because we're not going to spawn very many golems in open air, so that's where the next part comes in. I'm going to go directly below one side of the farm and then build out 8 blocks. And because bamboo's a little bit more expensive, I'm going to reclaim that block right there because it's not necessary. It's just the 8 blocks right here that we want. And then I'll do the same thing on the other 3 sides. And then just like before, I'll fill in all of the gaps going no farther than the edge of each of these sections. There we go. The iron golem spawning platform is complete, and when you're done, you should have a 3 by 3 space empty in the middle where all of the iron golems will get pushed. Before I can put any of the water into the farm, I need to build a retaining wall, so I'm going to put a temporary block down and then build up by 3 blocks. And then I'm going to use concrete for the retaining wall because this will actually be the outside of the build that's going around the farm. It's not going to look great right now, but trust me, the end result is pretty spectacular. Not only do I need the outside retaining wall in every corner of the farm, I need another piece of concrete right here. This will help the water flow. So this wall needs to be 3 blocks high, and I just ran out of concrete. I suppose that means it's time to go mining for gravel and sand. Complete now, and I'm ready to start putting in the water. And this is also very important to follow these directions because water path finding is very strange in Minecraft. I'm going to place 1 water source in the corner on top of this block, and then I'm going to skip this block right here and place a water source right there. Every single block in here, except for the ones directly next to the corner, needs to be filled in with a water source. So this is going to take a minute. Water can only flow 8 blocks before it stops unless it has a drop off to continue that flow. For example, this drop off right here will extend the flow another 8 blocks before it stops. And because that center point is 9 blocks, from here, the water will not spill over the edge, but when the iron golems get pushed towards the center, there'll be nothing from stopping them from falling in. And with that, the basics of this iron farm are pretty much done. Now it's time to bring the villagers over. And if you saw any of the last episode, transporting villagers is just a pain. Wish me luck. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take this minecart and place it down on the rail, and it should grab a villager through the wall. Oh yes, Minecraft mechanics are great. We can teleport people through solid walls. And now I am sure that this is not a nitwit, because nitwits have green clothing. If it does have green clothing, then unfortunately we're gonna have to fire him permanently, because nitwits are not going to work with an iron farm, but this guy is perfect. Come on, buddy. Let's go check out your new digs. So now I'm just gonna trap him in here with a dirt block so that the villager can't escape. I'll break the minecart so that I can reclaim that for the next guy. Now I have to do this 39 more times. If you guys are like me in this, but I just love that Minecraft is a game that you can multitask. There's nothing like tossing on a TV show and doing some grindy work, and we got it all done. All 40 villagers are in place. There are no nitwits. So what's next for the iron farm? That would be this right here. I'm gonna set up a temporary storage system for this, and this is gonna be temporary because I have plans for a pretty big storage room that I think we should dedicate an entire episode to, rather than just trying to tack it onto this one. So for today, temporary storage setup it is. And in order to do that, I'm gonna place 9 campfires right here where the iron golems will fall. And the great thing about campfires is they will burn the iron golems and do it at a pretty rapid rate, but it will not burn any of the materials that sit on top of it and will get pulled through into these hoppers below. So I think if we just set up some chests like right here and then run some hoppers into the back of them like this, that should get me what I need for now until we can get around to building this storage room. But the next thing that I need to do is grab 40 beds, one for each villager in the farm, and one by one I'm gonna start placing them down so that the villagers link with them, and this will establish this as a village and is the first step in getting the iron farm to run. This is one step in the process you don't want to rush. You want to make sure that every bed is linked to a villager. I'm gonna place the first bed, and you're probably not gonna be able to see the particles here because it's directly underneath a block, but I have my camera account set up above the farm just to make sure that this bed links with a villager, and I didn't see it there either. Turns out I had a no particle pack turned on my camera account, so allow me to try again. And I still didn't see them. I'm pretty sure I don't have a particle pack turned on here. Nope, no texture packs. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just place these, trusting that Minecraft does what Minecraft does. Oh yeah, okay, there's proof. I just saw it, and you are hearing it right now. I'm so sorry. There was a little kitty cat that just came falling down into the farm, and that's gonna happen because this is now an established village. We have beds, we have villagers. That means we have a village. So the beds are linking. Oh, and there's some particles right there. I can see them just right there. You just saw them disappear. Okay. We're good. Never second guess yourself, BluJay. You know what you're doing. So this is an established village now, and there are cats spawning because of that, but there are no iron golems spawning just yet. In order for iron golems to spawn, you need 10 villagers at the very least, and 20 beds before they start spawning. I have 40 villagers, and I intend to have 40 beds, and this should give us the maximum rates possible. The only way to get more is if basically you build a second farm and stack them, and that's just a lot of complicated mess that we don't need to go into right now, because I'm trying to keep this simple for you guys, and quite honestly for myself too. One iron farm for a single player world, that's gonna be more than enough. All 40 beds are now in place, but no iron golems are spawning yet, and that is for one simple reason. Villagers have to work. I don't remember the exact number, but I believe it's something like 2/3 or 75% of the village needs to have worked in the last day in order for golems to spawn. and that's not possible without workstations. So workstations are the next step. Workstations on Bedrock Edition are kind of a pain. I don't know for certain if it's this way on Java Edition as well, but this is where I think villagers need a bit of a rework. Linking villagers is not as simple as placing a workstation directly in front of them. You can see that linked with somebody, but it's not this guy. I have to go around this entire farm and look for the librarian. Well, hey there. There he is. And just so happens to be one of the places that I wanted to put a librarian. But now I have to go and break this workstation and remember that it was librarian number 4 and then bring the workstation over to him, because the way that villagers work right now is they link in order, not necessarily in proximity. So I'll place that down. And now he should be linked to the correct workstation. The workstation has to be reachable for them to work at it. So if these ever go out of sync and say this villager syncs up with a workstation over there for some reason, it's gonna break the farm. So I'm hoping maybe someday they'll change the linking mechanics. That would be the way to go in my opinion, because this is kind of a mess. Hello, librarian number 20. You just happen to be the last villager. And there you go. You got a job. You're hired. That's unsettling. I now have all 40 villagers linked, and I just need to wait and see if the golems are gonna start spawning. I don't think they have yet, but I do hear villagers working at their workstations, so we should be primed and ready to go anytime. Yeah, all we got is cat string, and one creeper fell in there, and we got some gunpowder. Oh yeah, there we go. Let me go downstairs and check the loot. Yes, the first 2 ingots, and there's 4 in there too, yes. Fantastic. And there's already another 2 spawned and contributing more to the iron farm. Thank you guys so much. You have no idea what your service means to me. Thank you. Oh, kitty cat. No, kitty cat. You get back in there. Okay, well, you're free. Go hide underneath there. That's fine. Well, now that we have this thing up and running, let's talk about villagers for just a few minutes. I'm not going to go into too great a detail because villager trading mechanics are going to change possibly in 1.21. I'm thinking maybe way over there we'll do an actual trading hall with every profession in the game, because this is just a few of the possible trades that you can get. So let's talk about the reasoning behind why I chose these specific villagers. First and foremost, let's talk about librarians. Librarians are great because you can trade emeralds to get bookshelves or enchanted books. You can get things like fire aspect or loyalty or smite 5. Wow, that's not a great trade. 55 emeralds for that. Woo! But librarians are great for providing enchantments because the enchanting table, quite honestly, is too random, and being able to go to a villager and select the trades that you want and then enchant the gear from there eliminates a lot of the hassle out of enchanting. But as you can see, a lot of these are 19 emeralds, 26 emeralds, 32 emeralds. They get quite expensive, especially for the better books. I'm gonna have to do some discounting at some point with these guys, but for now, we have the smiths. And the smiths are great because we have an infinite source of iron to trade for an infinite source of emeralds, which then can be traded for other things in this farm, or even a trading hall if we get one set up one of these days. And the other reason for choosing smith trades as well, you'll get access to diamond armor with the armorer, diamond tools with the toolsmith, and diamond weapons with the weaponsmith. So if I ever have a bad day like I had today, where I died like 15 times and happened to lose all my gear, it's not going to be that hard to gear back up. Smiths are a great addition to an iron farm trading hall combination, and in my opinion, are irreplaceable. Last but not least, I chose the stonemasons because their higher tiers as well offer quartz trades, and I'm gonna need a lot of quartz. So this specific setup is going to work for me. Maybe in your iron farm trading hall combination, you pick something else. Maybe you've got an excess of fish and want to trade with some fishermen, or maybe you've got an excess of crops and you want to trade with a farmer. There are quite a few different villager trading options, which again, I'm gonna go over in a future episode, but probably sometime after 1.21. I left this iron farm running AFK for several hours, and in between, I came over here and I siphoned some iron, and little by little, I have been trading with the masons to where every single one of them is a master level at this point, and I have access to all of their trades. Now, I haven't done that with the librarians, although I have gone through and secured towards some of the most desirable trades that you would want from a librarian. I still have a few left on my list, but we're getting there for sure. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but masons are great because I can go in here and just tap on this and trade 64 iron at a time. And not even 64, we have 16 left over, and I just got 12 emeralds. Then I can go over here and do the same thing with his buddy, and just go right on down the line. I'm telling you, it's free emeralds. If you're not putting masons in your iron farm trading hall combo, you're missing out. Not to mention, when you trade like this, it's really easy to repair your mending tools because they provide a decent amount of XP. It definitely can't replace your traditional XP farm, but it's definitely not bad to double down. So yeah, in just doing some basic trading with these smiths, I've already got almost a full row, and actually probably a full row between all these chests. We're gonna be able to do a lot of trading here before long. The last thing that I did want to mention to you guys, because I know I have already locked in the trades on these villagers, but in case you're unfamiliar with the rolling process to get a different trade, you do have to make sure they actually have a trade you want before giving them any items, because once you've traded, it's locked in for good. So this guy, for example, has infinity. I've already traded with him, and so this book will never be anything but infinity, which is exactly what it should be, because infinity is the best bow enchantment in the game. I will fight you on this. This librarian, however, I may not want this bookshelf trade, so all I have to do is break his workstation, make sure there's a trapdoor there so that he can't get out. He should unlink from the workstation and lose his profession, and then we can replace the workstation, hire him back as a librarian, and now he's got mending for 20 emeralds. I do already have a mending villager for all of my tools except for the bow, so I don't necessarily need this trade, but we could lock it in if we wanted to. But for now, I'm just gonna leave him there because there are a couple other trades that I don't have yet that I am gonna try to roll for here soon. The last thing that I wanted to mention for this video is that I've run out of time, and unfortunately, there's no building around this. I have, however, already started laying out the structure of where the building is gonna go. I think I'm probably gonna tackle this in a live stream here soon so we can hang out while we're building, but that's gonna do it for today's episode. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new, and hey, don't go anywhere. There's more Bedrock Guide content on the way.